everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I am Nahil Remote Jawali. So, welcome to the Future of Work podcast, where we explore the evolving landscape of work and technology. I'm your host, Manahil Remote Jawali, and today we have a very special guest, Mr. Aleksander, a technology enthusiast, founder at Futuria, and a visionary in the digital world. So, Mr. Alexander has been at the forefront of digital innovation with a passion for life and a keen eye on the future of industries, particularly the green industry. He is here to share his insights on how technology is shaping the future and what we expect in the years to come. So, Mr. Alexander, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us and welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, thank you for having me. I feel excellent, and I'm curious what are all the topics we are going to talk about tonight. I mean, I would be really how to say I would be really it would be my pleasure to share my know-how with your audience. Um, but do tell me, like I have done things like from in different subjects, like information technology. I've been involved in startups, like business side. Uh, I like societies. I like appreciate different cultures. I travel a lot. Um, I've been to America, for example. Rehan was my guest here in Slovenia. I invited him. He came to my country, to my city. I invited him for a coffee. We went around to see the people and the locations, etc. I mean, it's an amazing world full of possibilities. I would love to inspire your followers to just enjoy life and try everything they can. Like really. Mhm.
All right, sir. I'm excited to listen you. So now let's move on to questions. My first question
Mhm.
is on your screen. So can you tell us about your journey in the technology and digital world and what inspired you to found Futuria?
Wow, this is amazing question. You really started with a good one. Uh, I mean, I was like always like a child. It's like a childhood dream. Like when they ask you like, what do you want to be when you're gonna grow up? What do you want to be? So people always say like the most desired answers when asked are like, I'm going to be a doctor. Yes, very good. I'm going to be a lawyer. Yes, very good. I'm going to be, uh, I don't know, officer, engineer, or something very useful, like something very tangible, like something like very realistic, I would say. And, and something people would expect, like parents would expect, oh, my child is having a positive ambition. He's going to become somebody. He's going to have a good let's say, good knowledge, and he will be able to earn a good wage. Not in my case. I know my parents wanted me to be something realistic, so I said, no, I'm not. I don't feel like being a doctor. I'm not skilled with my hands. I like to talk to people only. I don't want to, operate on a person. That would be terrible. But I like politics, and I like societies. So, how about if I go to become a president? And they said, like, what? You're like crazy. Don't say it to people because they're gonna laugh. They're gonna think you're crazy. So I said, huh, you know, I'm going to prove you wrong. That's always like a child does. You're being stubborn. Like they say, it would be good that you become, this what we want you to be this, and then you become like stubborn. That's not what I want to be. So I say I would like to be something like that. Well, anyway, world is full of opportunities and etc. And I have this personality. I like to talk a lot, like you can see right now, and I like people, and I'm very extroverted. That means I like to interact with many people at the same time, and I like focus. Like focus is much necessary if you want to do something really quick. So uh, I'm not really focused. but I have plenty of ideas, you know. So that actually prevents me from accomplishing things. So I would probably be more effective if I had more focus. But I'm still young, so I have plenty of things to go to look forward to. Uh, so I said I want to be a president. I'm still not a president. So I found this specific niche. It's called micronations. You know, micronations is like a startup country. So, like you say, uh, there was this French emperor, like centuries ago. He said his name was Louis the 14th, and he said he was called the Sun King because he was so like visionary, etc. And he said, "The state that is me." So he said, "I as a person, I'm also the state." So I said, "Okay." He is not the only one. I can also be the state. Like I can play it I can do it like a micronation. So I was pretty surprised when I started using internet that I'm not the only one. There are other people out there in the world spread around. Some of them are very crazy, not me, but some of them are really like out of this world. But all of them play this micronation game. Micronations, yeah. And Project Futuria is my attempt at creating a state, and I'm starting in the form of a micronation. That means I set the rules, the playbook, and then people can join in, and we can all be together and happy, etc. You know, yeah, pretty much. Uh, but I'm still like moving it around. I see one rule, I want to change it and then improve it, etc. You know, and I'm still not attracting that many followers or like users, so to speak. So I did plenty of things in between, but this is my basic passion still is like politics and statehood and how the state functions, how do you improve uh, the governance, what is public administration, how does it operate, uh, how is the legislation and how is the legislative process, etc. So when I finished high school, I took a couple of years off. I didn't do anything practical. I was just hanging around, you know. It's a nice world. It allows you to, when you're young, it gives you possibilities for exploration. If you like, no problem. You know, you can explore stuff. Nothing will happen to you. You're young. You have energy. So after being 30 years of age, I actually started taking life a bit more seriously. So I did my education after passing 30 years of age. So if you think that you have to hurry, let me tell you, there is nothing necessary for you to hurry, especially with education, because nowadays, with the pace of development, whatever you learn in a classical school is going to be obsolete by the time you finish, twice over, you know, not even worth mentioning. Anyway, so I go for the undergrad studies and I finish it easily. 4 years, no problem, done. So then I go for masters, and I'm getting bored. Like it's becoming like repetitive. I'm like, it's no longer fun for me. Like I met everybody, I had fun. We have been socializing, meeting people. Okay, but I wanted something extra. So I thought like this is now holding me back because I'm caught in this environment that has limitations, and I think I can go above it. So I just flip. I just like, how do the Americans call it? I dropped out. I dropped out of my master's studies. Like I'm still like registered at the university, but it's no longer my interest. So I went around and traveled to places. I went to the Silicon Valley, which is excellent. Like if you collect enough money or you find a good financial supporter, I really advise you to travel to a effective startup hub or financial center or whatever, something that attracts powerful people that can move things. And because once you approach that environment, it it's bilateral situation. You affect the environment, and the environment also affects you. Hopefully, if you're like clever, it will affect you in a positive way. Um, you can always find stupid people everywhere. It's not a problem. But if you have a good mindset by yourself, you're going to push that aside, and you're just going to attract positive information. Useful information. Uh, uh we were talking about something, yeah, because just went off topic. Uh,
Yes, we are talking about what inspired you to found Futuria.
yeah, my childhood dream. That was basically my inspiration, and this is this is how I'm coded. This is something that was put into me, and it grew inside me, and do I cannot live without it. I have to take it in, accept it, and this is like my life purpose. Everybody, most likely, if they're happy, they find their purpose in life. It can take form of everything. All of us, we are different. I'm unique for myself. You're unique to yourself. Each of our listeners now are unique in their own terms, and any one of us will find out their life purpose. Like what's the best position for me in this society, and I can contribute. So, in my perspective, in my view, it's this micronation Futuria game. That's my stuff, and if I want to make a positive impact, I guess I just have to keep doing it, and I will probably have extra time for other things as well. But this is like my priority in life, you know.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for sharing the very inspiring story. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable answer. So now let's
Mm.
move on to the next question. My next question is on your screen. As a technology freak, how do you see the future
Mm.
evolving with the advancement in digital technologies?
Okay. Again, I'm going to say uh, respect to you for doing a good research on a person, on an interview before interviewing him, because like uh, you let me to express myself because I'm like the guy that lacks structure, and you give me good structure so I can give my best answer, because out of my mind sometimes I forget the best points on the go. Yeah. So this is a good support for my response. Yeah. So as somebody that's following the digital development on a daily basis, right now the biggest influence on our lives, everybody's life, mine and yours and everybody else's, is artificial intelligence. It is not something new. The very first uh, models or systems or theories in relation to artificial intelligence go back up to 70 years into the history, where the first scientists were doing something like, say, we have to create this system of I'm not that technical, but the first scientists, the really smart people, they were figuring out, we can make something that will go automatic and self-aware over time, already in the late 1950s. You know, fast forward in last couple of years, it went from nothing to really something overnight. Uh, it's not the first time that something took us by surprise, and it's still going to take us by surprise. Uh, if you are really smart, and I think you are very smart, you're going to find maybe you're going to find your life situation and artificial intelligence where it can benefit you personally, and that's going to solve all of your problems really fast. Because if you ignore it, like cover your eyes and say, I don't see it as a problem, I'm just going to live my life, I'm going to ignore it, then you would be waiting for a really nasty surprise, in a couple of months, not even in a year. Because nowadays, uh, all the smart people from years ago, they were saying, oh, it's going to happen like near the end of this decade, something really big. And they were off for a couple of years now, as we see it, like a couple of years too late, not early, too late, because we are used to outside of digital world, the progress is really slow. But in the digital realm, like it's either linear, like so-called, I'm going to write it in the chat, Moore's law. It's like the basic law that says that the number of processing power, something like that, I'm not that smart, doubles every 2 years, doubles every year linearly. Like it goes up and up and up in the same trajectory in the last, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years. Um, and because it's a law, it's like it was valid for a really long time. But now, in the fun fact with, let's say, exponential technologies, as it's being done by the guys at the Singularity University, uh, this is something like a Rehan School, but for scientists. Yeah, be sure to check it out later, just for the fun fact. Those are really smart guys, and one of those smart guys is working on these exponential technologies that they say, like, it uses like a so-called network effect. Let me type it for you. It's the way that I do meetings digitally often. I have this chat, and then I type whatever comes to my mind. Just for the record, I type it into the chat window. But with the advent of artificial intelligence, nowadays you have applications or solutions that do it automatically for you. Like if you speak English, maybe soon it will also be done for Urdu. I'm not sure, but we are getting there. Anyway, yeah. Uh, so I see a lot of positive impacts, like all the simple things we can do, like putting things into a basket, working in a warehouse, working in a factory, uh, being a night watchman, doing something overnight, manual work, etc. The things that you actually hate, but nowadays you are like obliged or forced to, because you have to pay for things, and this pays you money to survive every day. Everybody actually hates that. We would all love to be doing something fancy, comfortable, which is okay. It's not perfect, but it's better. So, and with the crossroads of artificial intelligence, which is going to remove people from the repetitive intellectual work, and artificial intelligence plus robots. I don't know if you were looking into robotics. Robotics is a big stuff for this year as well. For example, your neighbors, that is China. I think you have this your neighbors across Kashmir. To the north is China. Your neighbors, they are doing something really big with robots, but they are keeping it very silent. They have a company that made affordable robot last year already in the fall. The price tag for that personal assistant, like you can have it in your living room. It's $90,000, and if you fancy a robotic dog, which is low maintenance dog, you don't have to do anything with that. It's just $1,600, and it can carry 30 kilos of weight on its back. So, like, imagine you're going to school and you have to carry 20 pounds of something on your back, and you say, "I'm not gonna carry it. I have my robo dog. He's gonna carry it for me." You know, it's possible. I'm not gonna say. But aside of this, really outside of the mainstream stuff, it is going to affect workforce worldwide because the people that own factories and governments in a big picture, they are soon going to figure out, like, if I have a worker, he has a mind of his own. He can be annoying. He can have a very bad day. He can be sick and not even show up for work. He might not be willing to work every day. He needs to have a time off. He has family issues and he's pretty much expensive. While I have a robot, I put the guy into the like factory. I can shut out the lights and the heating and the like everything. And I just give him instructions and he will be doing it for much lower cost, 24 hours every day, whole day, no problem. Just the problem becomes like, okay, so let's say that I'm factory worker, or let's say I'm like a college professor. Yeah, because that's one that's going to go soon. Also, it's going to go bye bye, just as the factory worker. Uh, what I'm going to do every day, like, so you are gonna do something that's like your stuff. Either you're gonna go to the mosque and pray and associate with people, take care of your personality, take care of your friends, visit countries, grow personally. You know that tangible things that you can do between people, like, because now this is not the priority. This is like this is something you have to do after you have done your duties, like after you have done your daily work, like. But with this new happy world, it might not be so happy, because politicians tend not to solve problems, like, never. First, what is very likely, we are going to have lots of problems, and then we are going to be very angry about all those problems. We're going to have some issues. I don't want to say revolution or something, hopefully not. But afterwards, we were going to probably come to the conclusion that we have to share the value between everybody without that much conditions. Like, you're the citizens of Pakistan, okay, in that case, you're obliged to receive, I don't know, so many Pakistani rupiah per month or per week, or I don't know, on a daily basis. No, and we would like you to be a good citizen and provide with your duties as you're used to, donate it to this cause or pay your taxes, etc. Send your kids to school or whatever is going to be there to educate people. And that is my positive vision for the future, because I don't focus on the negatives, to be honest. I don't see the purpose on focusing on negatives. I'm aware of the negatives, but I don't focus on them. Like, I see the problem uh, before it even becomes the problem, and then I act upon it and say, okay, if I do this, there is not even going to be a problem, you know. And I'm thankful for my mindset. It's a really good mindset. It serves me so well. I have a great life in recent years. It's going so good. Thank God. Yes, it's excellent. Okay, I think I'm ready for the next question.
All right, right. Thank you so much, Sarah, for the wonderful answer. So now
Mhm,
let's move on to the next question. Can you
mhm.
please briefly describe as the former CEO and present president of the Association of Green Industry Development? How do you see technology contributing to sustainable development and environmental conservation?
It's interesting uh, because if you ever heard about the term that it's been going around the internet for a while, it's called greenwashing. And greenwashing, actually, it's a phrase that it says not everything that they say it is green is actually green, aka friendly to the nature. For example, uh, the palm oil. That means that is the oil that is derived from palm trees. Uh, it was like, wow, palm oil, so good, yes, excellent, like family friendly, yada yada yada. Like in the 90s, it was all the rage about sustainability and palm oil. But it didn't took us long to figure out. Hey, wait a minute. In order to secure ourselves with palm oil, we nice eco-friendly people in Europe, but for our comfort, Indonesian people were cutting down palm oil forests in their native Indonesia, like massively. Like they cut down like massive amount of land, deforested like a lot of it, and it killed off a habitat for this ape. It's not really ape. It's a primate, orangutan they call it. It's like this, like a it's a monkey or ape. I'm not. It's ape is not a monkey, but monkey is an ape. I'm not sure. Anyway, orangutan lost most of its habitat because of this deforestation caused by the European desire to have olive palm oil, to have it for let's say for soap, like and it took a couple of years to figure out, wait a minute, we're actually doing serious environmental damage. Like, yeah. So greenwashing is a term, and it got me thinking, like, okay, we have this, we have to produce stuff, it's not going anywhere, like, but we can make industry more like sustainable. Or let's say, if you make something dirty, it would be really nice if you also clean after yourself. Like, if you ever seen like the soccer competition, like the World Cup in Qatar last time, it was media in our country were like, oh, they don't want to serve alcohol. Oh, terrible people. Like, I was like, what? Like, you know. But what was the main thing I saw there was like the football fan or soccer fans from Japan that have picked up the trash on the stadium every time they were there. It was like, yes, that should be the focus. Like, clean after yourself. Like, it's very simple. Everybody could understand what's the point, and nobody would be offended. Like, why are you being so smart? Like, clean after yourself. Good choice. Yes, do it all the time. Yeah. Okay. So I said, okay, how about we do something about it? Like, you know, I love thinking, but it would be good if I go from the thinking phase also into the doing phase. So I started this NGO. It was called Green Industry Association of Slovenia, and our main focal point was how to make industry aware about environment, to increase their standard of operation, to consider consider environment like a factor in everything, uh, but also to not be so like a radical ecologist and just to be against everything, because we have plenty of people on the green side that are against everything. They don't like you know for example, nuclear power. I don't know if you have a nuclear reactor in Pakistan, but if you do, just keep it going. It's really nice. It works just fine. Keep it well maintained. It provides really good energy for not for a minuscule environmental impact. Uh, because we also have one in Slovenia, works really well. We have increased desire for energy, so we are aiming to build another one. You know, uh, we also built a coal-powered power plant, which was a dirty choice, but it was a necessary choice. We should just go for the nuclear power plant, really. It would be so simple. Like, it would be cheaper, better, faster, and just cleaner. Yeah. But like we have these radical green guys, and they would do like really crazy things. They would chain themselves on railroad tracks, or they would uh, um, protest on the middle of the road. What's the point? Like, you just make people angry. Anyway, yeah. So I used that opportunity to mingle with like-minded people. uh, I have met this excellent guy. It's an hint what you can use. There is a really good, sustainable, and permanent also, environmentally friendly energy source, which is called, well, I'm going to type it in the chat: geothermal energy. Yeah, that's it. Perfect. Geothermal energy, and it is in abundance for the thousands of years of our existence on Earth. Even if we were, if we, there would be more people than now, you would still have it for 2 or 3 thousand. Yeah, for a couple of thousands of years, it would only the geothermal energy. It would cover all our needs, like no other source needed. But in order to reach it, you have to either tap into the earth crust that drill below the earth surface. Like, uh, do you use meters or like feet and miles in your measurements in Pakistan? Do you
All
use
right.
mm,
Yes. Do you want to say something more?
do you use kilometers, meters, or you have like a different metric system, like with miles and feet and etc.?
I don't know about that, but I think we are using kilometers.
Kilometers. Okay, perfect. Then we are on the same level, yeah, because we use it too. Um, so like 300 meters, or between 200 and 300 meters below the surface, at least in my part of the world, that is Slovenia, which is somewhere in the center of Europe, there is enough heat in the earth that once it's picked up and delivered to the surface, it can power entire households. Like, it can be a power source, uh, and you don't need to be on the grid or everything. You're self-sufficient. Works perfectly, but it costs money because it's a procedure being done. So we were doing this, and we wanted to create what we call uh, private private public partnerships. Yeah. Uh, this is a project that combines private capital with public interest. For example, let's say we were going to we were trying to persuade Ministry of Education to allow us to attract private capital to invest into the improve let's say the external, like the walls of the school, and the heating system, etc., in order to heat a school to the acceptable level, to be comfortable for pupils and for the teacher and everything. It costs some money, and that money is, it's being paid for by the state or national budget. So we were thinking, like, if we make it cheaper to secure, to provide heating for this school using private capital, etc., uh, and we could have this making a win-win situation for the private investor. They would have a pretty good project with a good public effect, positive effect on the wider society, etc. And the state would eventually have less expense in their budget, because there's never enough public money for everything. Like, you can either decide to uh, put more funding into, let's say, electric network, or educational system, or healthcare, or social, whatever. Like, there's never enough money. So we were thinking about that. Sadly, they didn't want to bother. That's like probably in the pretty much the same people, because I talked with my Pakistani friends about it. It's quite similar. The people on the government, they don't really care that much. They only care when there is election time, and they say, I promise you it's going to be perfect, just give me your votes. Once the election is done, then you should, like, I hope they forget quick, because I have no solutions ever. uh yeah, it's the same, like, never mind east or west or south or whatever. It's all the same. In democracies, or like fake democracies or relative democracies, is the same. If you have the elections, you're gonna get like tricked. But enough. I don't want to whine. It's not my way of doing things. Yeah. I think it's time for the next question.
Yeah, we are concluding this interview. It's all about 30 minutes above. So we are
Mhm,
concluding our interview. It's
mhm,
here 12:40 a.m. So thank you
mhm,
so much, sir, for giving me your precious time and sharing your valuable insight and experience with us today. It's been enlightening to hear
mhm,
your thoughts on the future of work and the role of technology in shaping our industries and lifestyles. So your
mhm,
passion for innovation and commitment to sustainable development. It's truly inspiring. To our listener, I hope this conversation have has provided you with the glimpse into the exciting changes and opportunities that lie ahead in the digital age. Remember, the future of work is not just about technology; it's all about how we adapt, grow, and thrive
mhm,
in this ever evolving landscape. So, thank you for tuning to the Future of Work podcast. If you enjoy this episode, don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and
mhm,
share it with your friends and colleagues. Stay tuned for more insightful discussions on the trends and transformation shaping your work
mhm,
and shaping our work and lives. So, until next time, keep embracing change and stay curious. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me your
mhm,
precious time again.
Okay, before I go, I'm going to definitely check out your YouTube channel, and I'm I'm going to be answering questions below your YouTube channel, uh, as long as people will be posting questions. You know, that's at least something I can do for everybody. Not really a
Sure.
problem. Mhm,
Sure. Thank you so much, sir.
mhm. Okay, thank you for having me. It was my sincere pleasure, and
Also, my pleasure.
of course, looking forward to mutually beneficial cooperation in the future. And of course, um, regards to Pakistan, and wish your country and your people great success in the future.
Thank you so much, sir.
Mhm.
Thank you. Bye. Have a wonderful day ahead.